Can hear you.
Hey,
Hey.
did the intro play?
Huh?
Did the intro play?
Yeah, just played it.
Yeah, it didn't ever pop up on mine for some reason.
Oh, yeah, already went through. Hi, Nigel.
Hey, Nigel.
Get
Doing good, trying to stay warm.
everywhere.
Trying to stay warm. It's a lot warmer today than it was yesterday at this time. Yeah, we're at 31 degrees today. It was 20. It
Oh,
was 20 here yesterday.
okay, I think I'm good to go. All right, so try to make this short and sweet, though I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. Not this one.
Well, it ain't that. It's really not that big of,
Yeah.
not that long of a show as far as what we're reviewing the show. It didn't go. I just did some numbers on it, and all the wrestling. I don't remember how long Sunday's main event was, but put all the matches together, it was just over 48 minutes of wrestling. 25 of that was the last match.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Last night, watching Monday Night Raw, it went so quick. Um, 2.5 hours, and when the that ending credit thing came up there at the end, when that popped up, I was, holy cow! It's 10:30 already. It just
Wow,
went by so quick.
I haven't watched it all yet. You
Um,
can tell I'm dealing with a little bit of sinus nonsense.
so Saturday night's main event. It was the 42nd uh, episode of this series, and it was billed as John Cena's final match. And this is something that we had been they had been working towards for a year and a half ever since he made his announcement that he was retiring back in July of last year.
Yeah,
Okay, camera went. No, that's better. um, which was a shock to everybody. I remember watching, and I didn't catch on that at that time that he was wearing stuff that said the last time is now.
right.
Um, then it became apparent very quick, and this whole year has been a build towards this. And I know that there have been rumors going around saying that they were looking at creating a one-time pay-per-view event called Ruthless Aggression, and they were going to have it in Boston, where he's from. Um, obviously, that did not happen. Neither one of them. I know that a lot of people wanted it to be in Boston, but the reports that was going around is saying that Boston could not afford to pay what WWE was asking for them to host it there.
Right. Hey, Joe.
Hello, Joe. Um, we are long past the days now WWE renting these buildings to now where they're saying, well, if you want us, you're going to have to pay us.
Yeah, which it's crazy.
I know.
It's a crazy way of thinking, but I understand. I mean, it's all about business now with them changing hands and all that. I'll be honest, I don't like the way it's going. It's more. I understand it's a business, but it's turned into that to see how much money we can pull from all the fans as we can.
It I what I don't like is how they do all the backstage stuff. Um, they've been doing it for 25 years, but
Yeah,
they do all of these backstage things where they act like the camera's not even there, and the way that they go about it is so bad that it makes some of the worst things in the world look good. Um, and then you got all these ads that they place everywhere. It's just ridiculous. It is worse than what it was when they were on cable TV.
yeah.
Um, and
I
now
re-
this is the real irritating. Though it's good for like a bathroom break or whatever, but now when they're showing ads, when other people get ads, all I get is I get one of two things. One is like a montage of wrestlers saying "We'll be back," or I'll just get a screenshot saying "Commercial break, we'll be back," and that's it.
yeah.
No music, no movement, no nothing.
Yeah, I get that sometimes on my side, and I also do get advertisements here and there.
Yeah,
But uh,
but when you're doing PLEs back in the days of pay per view, there was no ad whatsoever. We went match to match to match to match, the occasional backstage interview, and now it's like 30 minutes in between each match. So while it's irritating for us, imagine how it is for those in the audience.
well, I'll say this: I can see pre TKO sale and what it is now, and I am much more of a fan of when they didn't have it.
Right.
Um, Even some of the storylines aren't as good uh, to me. It seems like it's lost some fire to it over the past, say, 6 months, 9 months. The ESPN thing didn't help.
No.
There's a bunch of different little things that happened, and it's not, to me, it's not the same as it was. Uh, there's still some excitement and all that in some of the storylines, but I don't know, there's something off to me. It's
Well,
like Saturday night's main event. The big thing was Cena and Gunther, which we'll discuss, that all a little bit later. But for the most part, these matches were just kind of thrown together. It's like, let's have these WWE people wrestle with NXT guys,
well,
and so
I was watching an interview with John Cena. He was with Chris Van Vliet, and he said that at first they wanted to do a full show tribute to him, and he rejected it. He wanted them to showcase the younger talent from NXT in what he called non-canon exhibition matches.
I
So
can,
basically, outside of storylines and all that, and it made sense. Um, and they put on some really, really good matches that way.
Well, the matches themselves were good. You know, with the exception of the main event was okay to me. I think the ending was just totally garbage. I think they could have picked a better person to be his last match than Gunther because Gunther really didn't need that feather in his cap. And he can have a good match with anybody, but he didn't. And that being said, why would you pick Gunther as the last guy instead of a younger guy coming up?
I'm sure they have their reasons. Me person, I know when he turned heel, I wanted our Truth to be his last match because I thought that would have been the perfect way. Our Truth finally getting John to turn back, and then have the celebration afterwards. Our Truth getting a world title run.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, that did not happen. And then when they announced this tournament, I thought, well, even before they announced the tournament, I had already read that they were planning on Gunther. Um, but then I got to thinking, well, Miz hasn't had a match with him yet, and he's one of those rare few to beat John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania.
yeah. Well, it wouldn't have made good storyline sense for Miz. I mean, he's really not doing much. Uh,
That's the point. He needs to be doing because he's very enjoyable. Even now, he's still very enjoyable in the ring. The other person that I thought about was L.A. Knight.
I would have went with Dom. I think he would have gained the most out of. We already know he beat him. Got the title back and all that. They should have postponed that whole thing. The only until the last match, let Dom do it. The only issue there would be how do we end the match where he beats him fair and square because
Right.
that's not Dom's thing.
Yeah, because
Um,
the way that they did that at Survivor Series, there's no way they'd have been able to get away with that and still have a viable celebration at the end.
right. I mean, they could have. I mean, they're good writers. They could have came up with something. You
Yeah.
know, um, I'm sure. But Dom to me would have been the perfect one to
Yeah.
beat Cena in his last match.
But Dominic did get three of the last four matches. So that says a lot right there.
But anyway,
But yeah, we can fantasy book all day long. I think LA Knight probably would have benefited the most because Dominic is already on that rise. Um, LA Knight, they just keep stalling him.
I,
Now,
I see LA Knight getting released somewhere down the next 3 years
well,
if, if they don't
the
do anything with him.
the word going around right now is that they're planning on doing something big with him next year. So I'm wondering if he's going to make a return to the Rumble this year and win it, despite this whole thing with Braun Breaker. I actually have a short list of those who might end up winning the Rumble this year. LA Knight, um, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. There's a lot of chatter about Sami winning because this Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. Um, I don't think it'll happen this year, but I can see it happening down the line that Dominic Mysterio will win a Rumble.
Yep.
Um,
I think it'll be I don't know. I can't see him being a babyface. I like him the way he is.
He's one of those guys that's going to be the tween, the anti-hero.
He's gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna be just like Eddie.
Yeah,
Everybody loves him, even though he's not a cookie cutter
yeah.
guy. And I
Well,
like that.
when watching Eddie, seeing him doing all this stuff, and then watching him smile and smirking and laughing, you can't help but love that. It just
The
he was,
charisma was there.
yeah. He I saw Eddie coming back in '95 when he was still new and all that. I looked at him and watched him, and I'm thinking he's going to be one of those that's going to be a big star. May not be in the next couple of years, but he's going to eventually be a very big star. And it took him a few years, but it happened. But holy cow, I did not think it was going to be like that to the point where 20 years after his death, they are still chanting his name.
Yep.
That's one of the greatest legacies anybody could ever ask for. Um, but anyway, yeah, let's get into Saturday night's main event. So it was at the Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. Um, and the attendance was 19,274, which is pretty good, especially for this one. Um, and there was a report saying that they were going to modernize the presentation, and I thought, oh no, they're going to get rid of the red, white, and blue ropes. They're going to get rid of this. They're going to get rid of that, and it looked like they didn't do anything. We still had the red, white, and blue ropes. They still had the that podium thing that Joe and Stephanie were talking, like what they have been doing in the previous
Right.
ones. So that was still there. They had the actual bicycle rack ring barricades all the way down. This is like they didn't change anything except for they kind of expanded that entrance where the wrestlers walk out. They had that long thing where they come out at. That's the only difference I saw. They just expanded that out.
Well, I like that whole the gated thing where I mean it's a narrow area right there where they're coming down and they're able to clap hands with
This is how it
uh,
used to be back in the '80s.
hands on both sides, which in turn gives you more seating.
Yeah, yeah. You'll
So
probably add maybe four more seats per row. So
yeah,
that's
but they had that when it first came on. I'm looking at the the big pan out of it. It's like that place is freaking packed,
it was.
packed. Um, I'm just curious to know how much one of them chairs that were by ringside, the special chairs, are worth
Uh,
now.
I heard that the front row seats were 11,000.
I'm talking about how much one of those chairs, if you found it on, I'm sure somebody's got one on eBay trying to
Oh,
sell one of them.
well, let's see.
But
Yep, there's one up there.
I see one for 350, but I don't know if that's the.
There's a lot of things up here. Somebody's got a ticket stub, a bunch of merchandise.
That's an old chair.
Yeah, they're asking a lot of money for these things. Um, Final Max ringside chair over well over 2,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they definitely didn't waste any time. They're probably selling the chairs so they can get some of that money back.
Yeah. Excuse
And
me.
and Joe, come up with another show. Find a co-host and let's get moving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at. There's all kind of chairs. There's one for $62, but
Yeah. Well, I'm only
it's
seeing one
enormous.
chair, but I'm seeing like cards, poster boards.
Oh yeah, I'm
Uh,
sure. I mean, there's all kind of ringside chairs.
okay,
Mm,
yeah,
On
only
eBay.
popped up on for me. Uh, Look like John Cena cups, hats, um, tote bags. Let's see, the ticket sub is almost $700 for a ticket stub. It it's amazing. Um, but yeah, that place was packed. I was actually expecting to see. I don't remember what country it was. Maybe Australia, where everybody was decked out in yellow. Or almost everybody. I was kind of surprised not to see that here. Because I figured that people would have wanted to get a shirt and they would have worn it that night, like they did in Australia. So I'm kind of surprised that didn't happen. But then again, this is America. We're all entitled to this and that. Um, yeah. Uh, they announced Jesse Ventura for the event, and Jesse was only in the pre-show. Um, and he came out with a full beard. He said that he grew the beard out for as a tribute to Randy Savage. Um, and even at 74 or 75 years old, Jesse Ventura still has a voice that could easily host, one of these things. He could be on
Right.
commentary today if he wanted to. But I think that because he's such a wild card, they're watching him because he
He's at that age where he's going to say whatever he wants to, regardless if it pisses you off or not. He
right.
don't care. You know, it's like, what
Um,
do I care?
and plus, in his time in politics and all of that, the conspiracy theories as well, that certainly didn't really help him. Although, especially the conspiracy theories are very interesting.
Of who?
The conspiracy theories are very interesting.
Oh, I thought you said somebody in Austin.
I I recall one interview. It was it wasn't talking about a theory, but he was talking about the Republicans. He and I thought it was a great line because really it would go well for pretty much all party lines. He says that he calls Republican a mental condition, and I can see that being said for Democrats and liberals and all those parties.
It's not just you know party based. It's the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
And to me, it's like it doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, or Independent, or in power. They're all working the stuff together to, you know,
Right.
keep themselves rich.
So this was the first Saturday night's main event that was exclusively on Peacock. It's not on NBC anymore. I think last month. Hold on. Oh no, last month's was exclusively on Peacock. Okay, so this is the second Saturday night's main event that was exclusively on Peacock. Um, Four matches, which has been the going rate, I think. Um, and then it's gotten worse with the ads this time around than it has been lately. Uh, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. Give me just a second.
So the four matches announced: John Cena versus Gunther, Cody Rhodes versus Omafemi, Bailey versus Soruka, and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. So all four exciting matches, and all four of them you look forward to, because you kind of have an idea of what they're all going to give you, and they're all going to be different. Um, so they opened the event with Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi. Um, Cody comes out first, which is kind of surprising, but in a way, I guess it makes sense because he comes out first, and now all the focus is on Oba right before the match.
Right. And I can see they get that big crowd pop whenever. Sorry, I'm doing something. That big crowd pop whenever Cody comes out at the very, very beginning of it. And they were chanting Oba's name also.
I thought that Oba had gotten a bigger reaction than Cody did.
Could be. I'm having issues.
Chris, um, the Oba has an incredible presence. You can see that in NXT. He
Yeah.
has incredible presence. He's got a great physique. He's good on the microphone. I think he is. Um, and he is just a monster in the ring and quick too. But the one thing I don't care well, I don't want to say I don't care for because it actually looks pretty cool, but I think it only works on very short ramps. Is when he does this thing coming down the aisle. You know what I'm talking? That is not going to work on a long ramp. A short ramp, yes. On a long one, absolutely not.
Yeah. I'm having some technical issues.
It's cool at first, but it's by the like at WrestleMania, that's not going to work all the way down those big long ramps that they make because by the time he gets down there, he's going to look like a cartoon character. But other than that, I think he has a great presence in and out of the ring. He is definitely somebody that I would expect to become WWE champion.
Yeah, he's got that good presence, and he can be babyface or heel either way. He's got that. I think that look and that persona that would work either way. Not many have that, but the match itself was pretty decent. Went back and forth, with finishing moves and stuff like that, and then Cody gets put through the announce table pretty hard, and apparently cut his ear pretty good. He's like getting cut here and there, just a lot here lately. Oh, but
Was that the same ear where you had the busted eardrum?
it was on his left ear. I think so. I think so. But I saw a post where somebody said that they had to end the match early because he got hurt, and I'm like, no, I didn't see that. Um, I mean, ending was um, not a win-win. It said it was. I saw it on Wikipedia where it showed it as a no contest. I
Yeah,
think
um, that had actually been put up on the post show that it ended in a no contest.
that to me that doesn't fit the bill. And I'll discuss another thing that I noticed in the last match. That didn't fit the bill on the what's the norm. Oba didn't get attacked. Cody did. So technically, it should have been a DQ with Cody winning. But understand why they want to do it storyline. They don't want that loss, and that was the best outcome with Drew jumping in there and attacking Cody. That was the best outcome for both parties, to where neither one of them takes a loss, and kind of goes down a ladder a little bit on status, I guess you'd say.
I definitely can see that, but I think that it would not have hurt Cody at all to have Oba go over.
Well,
Uh,
then you got this whole. If he winds up beating Cody, then you got this whole thing of, well, he's ready for the main roster and for the world title.
I think he is.
Um, uh, Not yet,
I fully expect him to be in the Rumble this year.
probably.
Um,
I
they,
don't think
huh?
I don't think they're going to give him a main. He's going to get on the roster, but I think they're going to build him a lot more over the next year or two before they push him to the limit.
I think he will come up after WrestleMania. He'll probably hold the NXT title until Stand and Deliver, lose it as Stand and Deliver, and then come up a week or two after WrestleMania, be on the Raw roster.
I understand the whole losing it to move on up to the main roster, but to me, it's like with somebody like him, they could easily just move him up and vacate the title and have a tournament.
They could. They could.
Then he doesn't take that loss to come up, and it really depends on what they do with him once they get him there. So
Um, Cody, I was actually watching Stevie Richards' show, I have become a big fan of his show lately, and he does these what went right, what went wrong segments. Um, and he did the one on where Cody got cut open on the ear, and he thinks that the tape on Ober's wrist,
You might have done
yeah, because when he did that uppercut, his fist was right next to the ear, and he thinks that the tape might have had a little bit of a lip or like one of those creases that it just caught him in the right spot, and that's what busted him open.
it. Yeah.
Because he did everything slow mo. At first, he thought Cody hit the chair with his ear, but he was about that far away when he fell. But he did catch that the back of his hand hit the edge of the table, like right here in this area where it would hurt the worst.
Uh,
So, so he said he knows Cody was definitely feeling that for a while.
yeah. That's the risk they take on those bumps and everything, regardless of what it is. Anything at any time can go a little astray, I guess you'd say. Or things just happen. It's really nobody's fault. It's just part of the job.
Unfortunately, yep. Um,
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
yeah, it's. I think they say now that the minimum salary when you're on the main roster is 350,000 a year.
Good gosh.
Yeah, but you still have to pay for your hotels. You still have to pay for your car rentals and things like that. I think the only thing that WWE pays for is your flight. So,
Yeah, and you got catering at the venue too. So
yeah,
that's a big deal. But
but still,
uh,
that's a lot of money. That's like 6 times more than what I made at my workplace.
oh yeah, it's a lot more than what I make. Hell, a lot more. But I mean, you think about it. Say they pull in after all the expenses and all that. Say they're pulling in 150, 200, or they're pulling in 200, and that means after all the taxes and all the other expenses,
Right. Yeah.
which all that stuff is tax deductible. There's hotels and rentals and food and
And they have to carry their own health insurance too.
that's probably a good bit.
WWE doesn't supply that because they are independent contractors.
Right.
Um, that needs to change. Yeah,
I
you're independent contractors, but you're basically an employee per the contracts.
correct.
Uh,
And that's something Jesse had talked about years ago.
yeah,
But I agree. I agree on that. I mean, you can't wrestle for anybody else. Technically, you're bound by the contract to only wrestle with WWE. So, I mean, you're limited to what you can do. But I don't see it changing anytime soon. Just because of the simple fact you'd have to have a lot of talent that would push for that.
that's the problem. They need to have a union. They need to have something. Um, anyway, back to the match. So Drew McIntyre jumped in, and Oba gets in his face. Um, so it's like Oba is he's not your traditional heel, but he is very much like Steve Austin. He doesn't care who you are, face, heel, whatever. Uh, if you cross him, he's going to get you, and that's exactly what happened to Drew.
Well, that would be a good match. They could build a storyline off of them too.
Yes, they could.
The Cody and Drew thing is kind of, to me, it's played its part. Move on, do something different. Um, I would like to see Oba and Drew go at it.
I think Cody and Drew will end up having a final match at the Rumble. So
Running was weak as hell. Yeah, it was what it was. Uh,
yeah,
like I said, it was a good way to end the match where neither one of them actually lose. They don't get either one of them get pinned.
and it's not the first time that they've done something like that to protect both sides. So
Right.
I get it, but I was hoping for Oba to win because that would be a huge thing for him. Um, Next match is Bailey versus Soruka. And this makes perfect sense because this finally puts Bailey in the spotlight. Um, Granted, this is not a PLE, but this is the next best thing considering the type of event this is.
Well, you consider this Saturday night's main event was probably better than the last PLE.
In terms of quality of the matches, probably, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Match of the night. Uh, I would say I'm just partial to Soroka. Yeah, I would say I'm biased. I'm ready for her to come to the main roster. She is freaking phenomenal.
Oh, she's
She's the move set, the athleticism, charisma. She's got a little more mic work, but besides that, she's going to be big when she moves up.
oh yeah. Uh,
Um, if she can stay in, keep out the injuries. Um,
that would be the thing. And
yeah,
I worry about her because she does this Bronco Buster where she's split legged and falls right on her ass. One, that's going to really impact her spine. I'm surprised she hasn't broken her tailbone yet.
yeah, yeah. She hurt herself one time doing it. I remember seeing that in the match where she was kind
She
of favoring.
she's already got a knee brace on.
I don't think she had one on the other night, did she?
I thought she did.
I know she's had one. I ain't seen the knee brace in a little bit. Uh,
Let's see here. Oh no, she doesn't.
that I don't know what you
No,
call it. I'm not
I
pleased,
think I'm thinking of Charlotte. I'm probably thinking of Charlotte.
but that little move she did where she does that somersault thing and goes over the top rope.
Oh,
Oh
she
my god, that was so
she
awesome.
was when she first came back because she did have a knee issue. That's what it was.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I was actually just watching a clip, a really good sequence where she did like a handstand hand walk forward and then went back, grabbed Bailey with her ankles, and then flipped her over.
hmm
That Oh no, she walked. I'm looking at it now. She walked back, then did the backflip, and then caught her with the ankles and pulled her over. I don't think Bailey was expecting that.
Well, that whole the Soul Snatcher Bailey had to really kind of move forward a little bit to get it. I saw. get in position. Um, but the match itself, it was a damn good match. Went back and forth. You didn't have any outside interference and all that. So uh,
I'm
I
glad
like.
it wasn't. I think Zaya is going to turn on her, but I'm glad they didn't do it on this night.
Well, I think it was this was more of a showcase for the talent and all that.
Yeah.
Hence other than the Drew McIntyre thing, but um,
Another thing that Soul did that she had been doing lately, but I think this is the first time that she's done it on this stage, unless she did it at Evolution. I can't remember. Is she did the backflip out of the ring onto the apron or onto the floor?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That move was phenomenal. It was perfect.
yeah.
Didn't touch ropes or nothing. And it was like,
And the level of confidence she has to have in order to pull that off.
well, you have to have a lot of confidence in the person that trust that person on the outside too, in case something goes wrong.
True, true.
So I'm sure they kind of practiced a little bit of crash pads and all that, but yeah, it was a good match all the way around, and I like the way they ended it. They didn't end it with the full usual, finish move pinner. I like the way she had to pull Bailey back in, and Bailey rolled her up and tried to pin her, and then she reversed it and pinned her.
Well, when I saw that, I thought, "Oh no, don't let Bailey win it this not this time." But no, I'm glad that Soul got the win, um, and this is putting a lot of trust in Bailey because she had not been featured hardly at all this year.
Yeah,
Um, no Survivor Series, no WrestleMania. She got taken out the day before WrestleMania. She was told the day before WrestleMania they were taking her out. Um, let's see. I don't think she was. No, she was a SummerSlam, but she wasn't wrestling. She got involved in the match. Um,
yeah. I don't know, for a storyline goes, where they're going with Bailey and Kyria. They were at odds there for a little bit. Bailey was acting strange back and forth, and then they kind of just did away with that.
did you see them last night?
Uh, I
Okay,
didn't.
so Bailey was her nice persona, and Lyra came up and she just started getting into it with her, pushing her, and made Bailey snap. Bailey called her an idiot or something like that. Then she walked away, and Lyra smiled. And she's like, "There she is." So it's like she's trying to get Bailey to be her. Yeah. Um, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen with those two now. But as far as Sol Ruka and Zarya, I truly believe that Zarya is going to turn on her. They've been teasing it for some time now. Um, I think Zarya is going to turn on Sol, and probably the turn is going to end up pushing Sol out of NXT, and she moves up to the main roster.
You talking about Soul coming over?
Yes,
Yeah, it's time.
it's been time.
It's
I was expecting her to be in the Rumble last year.
yeah.
Uh, Moving on, tag team match: AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. This was for the tag team championship. It was supposed to have been for the championship. Right now, it's being listed as not. But
It was a tag title match when they announced it. Now, when they when I saw, they were fighting, one from NXT, one from you're wrong, AEW or TNA. Which one was it? Where was he from?
Let's see here.
It was two wrestlers. They were wrestling, but they were from different factions, different programs. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, well, they ain't winning the title. I mean, they're not going to do that. Pull it up. He's from Leon is from TNA, and Evans is from NXT. So you had a TNA guy and an NXT guy fighting for the tag titles. I was like, that just don't make any dang sense wise, because they're not going to wind up winning the titles. So you already know the outcome. And yeah, that AJ slip. That's the first time I've seen him mess up on that. And I'm glad when that happened that they didn't try to go back and redo it, because it just makes it look dumb. You messed up. Just move on and go to your next move set that you got set up.
Stevie Richards was doing one move wrong there, and he brought up an interesting thing. Was it a slip, or did he do that intentionally?
I'd have to go back and look at it again.
Well, I sent you and Chris another angle from that. His foot never even touched the rope.
Really,
I sent you guys the clip last night. Fan from the other side of the ring. His foot did not touch that rope. So it kind of does make me wonder if maybe he did this intentionally as maybe to test Leon Slater to see what he would do after that happens, if he would wait or if he would jump right in for the cover. Um, yeah, because I have never seen AJ slip like that before. And for him to do that now, it just, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it worked. It worked, however, whether it was a slip or not. Uh, and like I said, I'm glad they went and did try to redo the do the thing where I've seen them. There was another match, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been Saturday night where it was a female. Might have been Raw. Might have been Raw last week, where somebody had somebody else on their shoulders, and they went to pick up, and they kind of stumbled back and fell.
Oh,
Because doing the same thing again.
Rhea and Zelina.
Probably.
That was on SmackDown.
I just remember seeing that little mess up, and I was like, when they got their composure and all that, and did the thing again.
Yeah, that could have really hurt Selena.
Oh, it could have tore some knees out too. I mean, you look at Kevin Nash just going over towards the tag and just collapsing with his knees.
Yeah, I remember that one too. And people make fun of him for that. It's like I don't get it. Why would you make fun of him? Because
Well,
at that time he wasn't a full time wrestler anymore.
that too, and Vince coming into the ring pissed off, because of the ending of was it Stone Cold and Bret Hart? There's somebody coming in the ring and restarting the match because both of them went out the ring. It might have been a Royal Rumble where both of them went over the top rope at the same time. And I was like, you couldn't plan that any better. But apparently it was supposed to have been it was a botch thing, and Vince comes sliding in and tears both his quads out.
Oh, the '95 Rumble with Cena and Batista.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like,
That
that'd have been,
that worked out a lot better than what they said was planned.
yeah. To me, that was like that was gold right there. That was a good ending. I mean,
The way that they described or what the actual plan was, I'm like, that would not have worked.
and do you think maybe secretly maybe they changed the ending?
I don't know,
Them two's like, hey, let's go with this. Screw that
but
ending. Let's go with this.
but AJ got lucky that he didn't get hurt on that one. If that really was a slip, um, and the fact that Leon capitalized on it, that it, he here's the thing, and I think I told you and Chris this. Javon Evans and Leon Slater are both 21 years old. Combined, they are still younger than AJ Styles.
That's
Think
funny.
about that. And
If they could get the contracts done and have both of them in WWE, it would be a damn good tag team.
oh yeah, they have been teaming up quite a while now. Um, the only issue is that Leon is in TNA, but I have a feeling that when his contract is up in TNA, he's going to move over to WWE, just like Joe Hendry did.
I would. AJ is 48.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I've heard he's talking about retiring too.
supposedly 2026 is it.
I
He
wonder if they'll give him the same run they did Cena.
at the age of 50.
I wonder if they'll give him the same run they gave Cena.
I heard no. I heard that he doesn't want that. He just wants to. Okay, when he's done, he's done.
I can see that because you're so
What they
much
did
more
with John
free.
something special.
Do what?
What they did with John was something special because of the level that he's at. He is levels above everyone, even AJ Styles.
Would you consider him modern day Hulk Hogan back in his era?
Um,
Maybe not to the plateau of Hogan, but
like
you
one step down. Uh,
know, because at that point in time, a lot of wrestlers had got injured or left or whatever, and he was like
right.
the one carrying the torch for a long time.
But AJ I think is going to do it more quietly. Um,
He seems to be that personal uh, persona.
yeah,
I don't think he likes. I'll say he don't like the limelight, but I think he would rather go out, quietly than have this big production where, well, I've got to be here, I 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 got to do this, got to do that. I could
right.
just have some matches here and there, a little bit of storyline here, and then I can fade off.
Yeah, and I know people are wondering that. Well, they're not going to use him right or anything. He's tag team champion.
Yeah,
if if that's not being utilized right,
I thought that the War Raiders would wind up beating them, but that didn't happen. But
I I don't know. I do know that AJ's been doing some excellent work. Um, that catch that he and Dragon Lee did with Kofi.
that was freaking awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome all the way around from them two to Kofi. That, I mean, that had to work together.
Right. And then they did something similar with Leon Slater outside the ring at on Saturday.
Mhm.
Um, so AJ is still putting out real quality work out there. Um, but I think like Cena, he wants to finish while he can still go. He doesn't want to. Um, I hate to say this about Undertaker, but Undertaker went far too long beyond what he should have done.
Well, he had so many injuries and surgeries, over the years, just keeping his body
Yeah.
going and rehabbing and taking breaks and this and that, and like, yeah, and he's, I'm sure he's feeling those injuries now on a daily basis.
Oh, no doubt.
Um, yeah, I always thought that too on like professional like football, and you see these guys playing for X number of years and they get this and they get the big contracts and they keep going and then by the time they're done they retire and they're just broken down. I'm like, if I was in that position, I got a big contract at the, I'd play for about 5 years and that's it, done. Take my money and go home while I'm healthy.
Right.
I never understood this keep going and keep going, which I guess I can see it one limelight, with martial arts competition stuff that I do. I still, I know it's time for me to take a step back and stop doing it so much. But you get out there in the competition, it's like, and you looking at guys that are older than you still going at it. It's like, you I can still hang,
Right.
So I can see both sides of it. Of course, I ain't making no money off of that, but
Um, AJ and Dragon Lee won the match, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. The only reason those two are a tag team is because of AJ Lee. It's the only reason they were put together. They had to be. There's can be no other explanation. Can you argue that?
AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, AJ Lee, I get it.
Yeah. Can you argue any other reason that those two would have been put together?
Not right now.
But
No.
damn, they work good together.
Yeah.
Um, so but I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Javon and Leon. Um, I didn't realize till recently that Leon is he's from England because I never really heard him talk until this last go around. I was like, wait a minute, he's got an accent. I didn't remember hearing that before when he would give interviews until just this past weekend. I looked him up. Oh, he came from England, so I had no idea.
I
Uh,
think they announced it the other day. On Saturday Night's Main Event, didn't they announce it that he was from there, or somebody said something about it?
yeah, Michael Cole, he had to be corrected on that. Leon is from Bradford,
Ah, yeah, yeah, I remember that.
and Michael announced him as Bedford, and Wade had to correct him on that, and Michael's like, "Sorry, Bradford."
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny. Uh, but I'm especially excited to see what Javon's going to end up doing because he is exceptionally good for somebody his age.
correct.
I just worry about his knees.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do some of that stuff so long before it starts tearing cartilage and everything,
Right.
ligaments and stuff. It's just
And he's got the height where if he really wanted to, he can put on some muscle. Um,
yeah.
not a whole lot of muscle, but add a little bit of muscle, like what Cody did. Remember how real skinny he was when he first started?
Yeah.
And seeing him now, he looks a lot better now than he did then. I think if Javon could do that, it would. He might still be able to fly. I don't know,
I would think he would. Um, you know, yeah, I think he would be able to.
but we've seen a lot of high flyers, but
I mean, look at Ivor.
he hangs in the air.
Look at Ivor. He shouldn't be doing what he does.
I
But I
know,
think if he wanted to put some weight on it, I don't think it'd affect him too much.
but either way, I'm excited to see what he's going to do. The fans are clearly behind him, um, and a lot of the wrestlers have openly said that they are extremely impressed by him, and I think we can expect some really big things out of him. I am hoping to see him in the Rumble this year, next month.
God, that's a month away. Good lord.
Yeah. Speaking of the Rumble, I've already got my. Well, I've sent it to you and Chris. My predictions for who's going to be in the Rumble.
Who's going to win it? Braun?
Well, I have a list. Um, where is it?
Oh, goodness.
Let's see. Rumble predictions. Okay. So for the men, now this I took Braun Breaker out, even though the office is saying they're looking at Braun as the winner for this year's Rumble. I took him out because I think that it's going to end up being CM Punk versus Braun Breaker for the world title, and Cody Rhodes and Drew for his title.
Oh, God, I hope not.
So taking Braun Breaker completely out of the Rumble. My top five to win the Rumble this year: LA Knight, Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and Gunther. If there's a time for Gunther to win, this is it. For the women, my top five are Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Io Sky, Sol Ruka, and Natalie.
I don't see Natalie winning it. I wouldn't doubt Becky Lynch.
Well, I
in
wanted
that-
to
in
stay
that-
away from repeat winners, even though I put Roman in there. But it sounds like they're going to go to Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania.
God, I hope not. And the only way they're going to do that and make it work is if he goes heel.
Right. So that's the only reason why I put Roman in there. Um, but to be honest, there's nobody else, at least in from my prediction, that I see as a viable winner.
If Braun wins, it's him and CM Punk. And so then you got the Elimination Chamber.
That's how they've been doing it. The winner of the Rumble and the winner of the Chamber, they both get the title matches.
Yeah, winner of the Chamber. I could see Roman and Cody again. I want to see something different.
Well, it is going to be different because Roman's a good guy now. Well, he's like a tweener.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, it's still the same match type.
It'll be different, especially if Cody goes heel.
That's the only way it works.
Yeah, and he's going to go heel because he's so frustrated now. And let's be honest, Roman is still the bigger star out of the two.
I could see Drew having a match with somebody and Cody interfering, jumping in, and just beating the dog crap out of him.
He actually kind of did that last night.
No, I mean like extreme. Like come in and just start hitting him with chairs and
No,
just
there's a video. I haven't watched it, but apparently they played it on Monday Night Raw. Cody broke into Drew's house and beat the shit out of him.
really.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel. I haven't
Okay.
watched it. It's only 5 minutes long. I haven't watched it, but apparently Cody broke into his house.
Well, maybe they're starting to move that in that direction with him.
Maybe.
All right, last match: Gunther versus Cena.
Okay. So it was being reported back in the summer that Gunther was the planned final opponent. A lot of people were not happy about that. Um, I didn't. I didn't see the purpose of it being him. Um, I can understand it, but Gunther is already a made wrestler.
Right, he's already had the world title. Why does he need the win over Cena?
Right. Um, I see this as on the same level of Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. Brock did not need that, just like Gunther did not need this.
Right. Oh, at any rate, as much as he is a heel, Gunther now they really hate him right now. Did you see the video clip of the little kid on the side just berating Gunther?
Yes.
God, F you. You suck. Everybody hates you. Just kept on going at him. And
And
Gunther
Gunther
just
was
eating it up.
going right back at him, saying, "I'm civilized. You're not."
Yeah, and just like he's just eating it up. It's like,
Yeah,
and I can see Gunther. Did Gunther show up at the beginning of Raw?
he did.
I figured he did. He got some major boos, didn't he?
Oh, he did. the The boos were louder than what it was for Dominic when they wouldn't let him speak.
Yeah, they've really got Gunther. Their
And
fans really hate him right now,
at first, he only said one line: "I made John Cena tap out like a little bitch."
and that just yeah,
Yeah,
that's good mic skill right there.
yeah. And then he started to walk out. He got halfway up the ramp, turned around and came back. Said a few more things. Oh, he laid it in on the fans. It was funny. It was awesome. It really was. It was on the same level as when Roman Reigns beat Undertaker, and the next night on Raw, the fans wouldn't let him speak for 10 minutes. Every time he brought the microphone up to his mouth, the fans booed the crap out of him, and finally said, "This is my yard now," and left. This is on that same level. Um, yeah, this is going to catapult Gunther in. That's why I'm putting him in my top five for the Rumble this year to win.
Well, yeah, I could see that. It really depends on which way they go with it. I mean,
Right.
it's a crapshoot. They probably don't know right now what they're going to do.
Oh, no doubt. Um, the match itself. Well, wait. Before getting into the match, uh, Cena comes out. He gets in the ring. Then he gets back out of the ring. Um, and he's greeted by a whole bunch of wrestlers there in the corner. Sami Zayn, um, Eve Torres, she was out there. Michelle McCool, Haku
Yeah,
was there. Kevin Owens, oh, he got a big pop from that one. Elias, um, yeah, he's now Elijah in TNA. Uh, he and Kevin are both healing from injuries right now,
yeah,
and there's a concern about Kevin that he may have wrestled his last match. And if that's the case, and he had a hell of a last match with Sami Zayn. I don't think
yeah.
he could have gone out any better than that. Who else is out there? I'm trying. Kurt Angle, Mark Henry, they were out there.
Yeah. Excuse me, Mark Henry. Um, Trish Stratus was there.
Yeah, Trish. I
Um,
saw her. Um, so there was quite a few people out there for him.
I would have liked to seen a little feel good moment with Angle and Cena in the ring.
I know that some people were. Well, Angle wanted John to be his last match, not Baron Corbin.
Right.
Um, it ended up not being the case, but and I know some people were saying that Angle needs to come out of retirement to have that last match with John, but I don't think it would have worked. Because
No,
Kurt,
I mean,
I don't remember what year it was, but it's been several years now since he's been in the ring. I don't think it would that match would have been good.
uh, Rob Van Dam was there also.
Yes, yep, he was. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of people out there. Um, Holy cow, the list is right here. I just now noticed it. Yeah. Rob Van Dam, Trish Stratus, Mark Henry, Kurt Angle. Um, oh, that's after.
That's after when they surround the ring.
Oh, we skipped over a segment. The Miz and R Truth and Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It was what it was. It was.
I know that this was Miz's last desperate attempt to get a match. And he was even wearing the same outfit that he wore at WrestleMania 27 when he wrestled John Cena. So that was a nice little touch there. And then R Truth comes out, and then Joe Hendry. Um, that was a fun little bit. It because I know Joe really wanted to have a last match, and he said in an interview that he had been able to manifest everything else, and he was hoping to be able to manifest him and John. Unfortunately, not to be, but It would. I think that match probably would have been good.
Our truth, he probably gonna get in the ring here and there, but I think he's more of a just a little bit spot right now, and I
Well,
think he's probably happy with that.
he did say that he had just signed a new contract with them, and that this will probably be
It
his
last.
last contract with them.
He goes on live on TikTok every once in a while,
Yes, he does.
uh, playing music and just chit chatting with fans and stuff like that.
So the match itself, this was not a typical Gunther match because I felt like he was pandering to the fans way too much. That is not something he normally does. Not on the
Yeah.
level that he did. There's your flashing thing again.
And quit. It's some kind of connection loose or something in this
Yeah.
headset. I'm sure, but
That's the first time this happened on this show, and we're almost an hour and a half in.
yeah, that's a good run, I guess. The match itself, I was not excited for the match. I wasn't because I thought it was just a bad pick on the things. It was just like to me, it was like a regular match, even though I know it's Cena's last curtain call, and it just which I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Cena Cena was big when I wasn't watching, so it wasn't. I say I'm not a big fan of Cena. Not saying I don't like Cena. Uh, I love what he does outside of the ring. Uh, also, with Make a Wish and all the troop stuff and all that stuff. The person he is. But far as like really excited about his wrestling and all that, I was never a big Cena fan. He was always like one of those guys over there that wrestles.
Mhm.
Um, so that in tune may be part of why I wasn't really looking forward to the match, or I wasn't invested in the match.
When I got back into wrestling, he had just became the guy for them. Um, so I missed out on his rapping portion and all of that. I missed out on his debut. I was aware of him.
Right,
I kept tabs on it, but I didn't watch. You know, the Monday nights and whatever night SmackDown was. Um, but I kept track of it. Like I got all the WrestleManias on DVD. I got all the Royal Rumbles on DVD. I got some of the pay per views that they had. So I kind of kept up. Um, but by the time I started really getting back into it, he was already in his position.
right. Well, even though I had not watched wrestling, on a regular basis during that period of time, it was kind of when Daniel Bryan was doing the whole yes thing. I really wasn't watching then. I wasn't watching during the Cena. I always made a point to, catch a couple shows before whatever WrestleMania was coming up, because that was you know, the one thing I did watch, mainly for Undertaker. I wanted to see what was going on with Taker at the time. Um, but the whole thugonomics thing, I never was a big fan of. It's just not my genre of music. So anybody that's like doing that whole thing is like it doesn't interest me.
Speaking of his music, they were talking about this on the pre-show. Um, John Cena is the only musical act to have a debut platinum album and never released a follow up.
Really?
He's only released one album. It went platinum, and he never put out another song after that, or another album.
Um,
What a crazy thing that is. Um, let's see here. So apparently he's part of the Peacemaker soundtrack, but that's not really a full album. So one of these days we're going to have to do a show completely on his whole career because that would take up uh, a good episode, like what we did with Sting. Um, but the match I wasn't really very excited for. Not the first half of it. Then I'd say about halfway through, it started getting interesting because of some of the things that they were doing, taking stuff outside the ring and all of that. Um, like he did the AA on Gunther through the announce table.
uh-huh.
Um, but right before that, when Gunther was moving those steps, I was expecting him to pick them up and throw them at John. Um, and then the end came.
The ending was boring because it was like the match went on probably 20 minutes, and 5 minutes of it was probably, you know,
22 minutes and 55 seconds.
you
It
know,
seemed like he spent 5 hours in the sleeper.
yeah, it was way, way too long.
Yeah.
I would have had John, which I can see their storyline never, never give up, and he gave up. Um, but I thought it was kind of uh, breaking kayfabe with smiling and then tapping. I was like, come on, just
I I have a theory on that one. He broke out of that sleeper what, 4 times, 5 times, and
yeah,
kept putting it back on him. My theory behind that is that John knew that he was not going to get himself in a position to be able to try to do anything. As soon as we break out, Gunther's going to get right back on him, which he's supposed to.
right,
And when he smiles, he realizes that it's been a hell of a career, one of the best of any wrestler. And when he tapped out, he wasn't tapping out of the hold. He wasn't tapping out of the match. He was tapping out of the career.
yeah, that'd be a good
That's
explanation.
yeah, that's how I take it. He tapped out of the career. Like, okay, I'm done.
It's tough.
Yeah, I'm done. It's time. No more.
I
That's
can, I,
how I take
I
it.
can see that.
Yeah.
Now, we were watching at the station the other day, and I got one of my guys. He's kind of watching a little bit here and there. He's really not invested. He's just watching. Uh, but we were sitting there watching him, like he put him in the sleeper hold, and it's like, well, then the ref raises John's arm, and it goes down. I was like, oh crap, it's over. And he picks his arm back up again. I was like, wait a minute. We've had this discussion before on the thing. I was like, that don't make no damn sense. That used to be the thing back in the Hogan era. The third time, drops his arm twice. Third time he keeps his arm up. And then they pick the arm up and he drops it, and they just call it right then after one. I was like, that's not
That's
how
what they did
you've
with
done it for
Goldberg.
years.
That's
Do
what they
it.
did with Goldberg. He picked the arm up. He didn't even raise it all the way up. He just, all right, that's it, we're done, we're done.
Yeah,
Goldberg.
that's not been the normal for years. Why do you start doing that now? And then go back to this match, and they bring it back. It's like, be consistent
Right.
and understand. You know, it's the hype and all that stuff, and the build the emotion up of the two, and you hold your hand up on the third one. It's like, but that, be consistent with what you've been doing. Now we went back to change it. Now, here's the thing on the next match he has. Is he going to do the one, or is he going to be allowed to do the three? You know. So that kind of irritated me a little bit. I was like, it just don't make any damn sense. You're changing it back now.
It's whatever they want to do.
This is true. It's true, but
Um, but that's how I took it. He tapped out of the career and not out of the match
mm,
because he was good with it. He accepted it. This is the end. All right, let's do it. I'm done.
yeah, and the whole little smirk at the end.
Yeah, that that's how I took the smirk. Is that it's been a hell of a career. You know what? It's like when when you reach that point where you know this is it, you can't help but smile because it's finally over.
Yeah, and you look back at the career you had and everything you've done, and I'm sure he's still got a contract with them. I do believe. And,
Oh yeah, he's got a new 5 year contract where he's basically going to be like their ambassador.
right, and I can see that.
Yeah,
He'll probably pop in here and there once in a while.
yeah, he'll still do appearances and things like that. He is just not going to be wrestling anymore.
Right.
Um, then after that, everybody comes out. Um, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, they put their belts on him, much like John Cena and Batista put in their belts on Hulk Hogan. Um, so I thought that was a nice little touch. And you can tell John was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was a surprise there, and made him raise the belts up towards the crowd and all that. You can see it seemed like John didn't want to hang around in the ring very long after it was all said and done.
Well, I think he expected to do like a bow and then leave, much like what he did at Survivor Series.
Hmm.
Um, but everybody came out before he could.
Right.
And the round of boos that Triple H got when he hugged Cena, and he was laughing about it too. He knew it was coming.
And well, you know, fans don't understand. It's not. He's kind of a guy in charge, but you know,
Well, he is when it comes to creative.
but you know, I'm sure, and what people don't understand, you know, with the match of this and the magnitude of what it meant, it was John's decision. You know that
Yeah,
it was going to be, Triple H was like, no, you're going to do it this way. It's like, no, I mean, he's that type of guy that listens to the wrestlers now, gets their ideas, and and works it. So that was John's idea to go ahead and lose in the way he lost. So the fans booing Triple H for something that John basically decided on ending.
right.
Don't make good sense to me. But There again, you still got people like the little kid who thinks it's all real, or it's not predetermined. I won't say the real thing, but it's real. It's just predetermined. You still got those guys that are like, and you see it on social media. You know, why they always got to cheat to win?
I was thinking back when I was younger. I don't even know when I came to the realization that they planned all of this stuff out ahead of time. I
Yeah,
have no idea when I realized that.
yeah.
The
I
first
don't either. And it's kind of like the whole Santa Claus thing. When is the time when you realize?
finding that one, I remember, I still remember that one clearly. But I don't remember when I absolutely knew. Now there were times when I would see something here and there. The very first one was when I was watching Royal Rumble '93. Towards the end, it was after everybody had gained up on Yokozuna on the rope trying to get him out, and he hit them all, and they all scattered. Then El Matador, Tito Santana, was beating up on Repo Man, and
Hmm.
they had a camera angle that was right on them. Um, Santana was on his knees, Repo was on his back, and he was doing the elbows to the face, and at that angle, he was missing him by that much.
Right.
I remember that being the first time I seen something. Wait a minute. And then there was another where I was watching Rumble '90, and Dusty Rhodes was trying to get somebody out of the ring. I think it might have been uh, Dino Bravo, maybe. I don't. It might have been Bravo. He was trying to get him out. They were in the corner, and then all of a sudden, I see them talking to each other. It's like, wait a minute. But at the exact moment where I realized that this wasn't what I thought it was, I don't know. But I remember those two instances where it's like, okay, this isn't this that doesn't make sense. They're supposed to be hitting each other, not
Right.
talking.
Right.
So, but yeah, I remember those two very specifically. And now it's like you see it all the time.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's gonna sound crazy, but I enjoy I enjoy watching wrestling now just as much as I did before when I thought it was all the real deal. You know, I like I like it now, but it's different because I like picking out those move sets or kind of thinking more technical in what they're doing, and listening for them talking to each other or getting ready for the spots and the behind the scenes stuff of what makes the program good.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
speaking of which, Unreal second season comes out in January.
is that the one with Snow?
Huh?
Al Snow. What's that? What's that show with Al Snow? I was hoping to pull another second
Oh, I don't
season.
know anything about Al Snow.
Oh, Al Snow's got
I
a.
just know that Unreal, the second season, is going to be coming out next month.
Oh, okay, okay. That's where they, and I'm sure this will be seen as. I'm sure they'll have something to do with Cena on this second one, second
Pro-
season.
Probably,
Um,
probably.
but um, Al Snow has got they got a documentary type show on Netflix, I do believe. Where
Oh, okay. No, I don't know anything about that.
what's up, bot? Nobody's calling you.
Yeah.
Piss off.
Yeah, please. I need to go find out which page that's on.
It's like they just don't go away. Bots and I get messages. I get phone calls. I'm surprised I didn't get a phone call already. Telemarketers just drive me crazy.
Okay, so well, she must have done it on, or he, whoever it is. It's a brand new account.
Oh yeah, that's the way they do.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so after the two belts thing, um, Triple H points John to the big screen up on the ceiling. There's another tribute video where people are talking about this. Vince McMahon was on there, um, and that actually got a positive reaction from the crowd. Um, then after that was done, John takes his bows all four side, and then he takes his shoes off, his wristbands, and his armband.
Lays him in the ring, walks out in his socks.
He walked out, um, and somebody took a picture of that little setup. And I don't think John meant for this to happen. He just took the armband off and put it down. But the last time is now was perfectly centered.
Really?
Yeah, it was perfectly centered. Somebody took a picture of it. It's like the perfect picture. John walks out. He does a bow, a salute. Said it's been a pleasure serving you all these years. He turned and he goes down that long hall, that long corridor, and it's like that perfect image of riding off into the sunset.
Yeah, and I liked the fact I was like, please don't have anything after this. You know, have him walking through the doors and you cut it. Don't say nothing. Just let it be. And they did it that way. I was like,
It,
good. That's the way it should have. The show should have ended and all on that show. So
so I thought that was a great send off for him. Also, Michael Cole said what's probably now going to be one of the most iconic lines. Professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment. Did you hear that? Your mic's still muted.
I'm sorry. I had what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Michael Cole said a line that's probably going to end up being one of those iconic lines throughout. Oh, please stop.
No,
Okay,
just keep.
I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout. I don't want to do that, but you're forcing me to. We're having a good show. We don't need you ruining it. So please go away.
You're not getting any business here from our people. Just
No,
go. No, you're wasting your time.
right. Besides, chances are you're a guy, and we're not into that. Michael Cole said a very iconic line: "Professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment," and that's exactly what it was. Gunther destroyed John Cena. Gunther is a throwback to the '70s and '80s wrestler, and
Yeah.
and you could see at the end of the match, John had some welts on his chest.
Oh yeah. He had marks on him.
So
Oh, oh,
he,
did you see the?
he left his mark on him. That's for sure.
They left his mark in the ring too. Did you see the part they were panned out a little bit, and they it was up, it was a little closer, but then they panned out really fast with the camera when it happened. But he had John down. It was during that whole sleeper stuff. There was one where they had a break or something, and he was on his knees and he was berating John, and this big glob of spit just like yeah, just dripped out on the mat from Gunther.
Oh no, I did not see
You
that.
didn't see that? Oh my God! And you could hear the crowd, and you could hear the crowd go, "Ew!"
No, I did not see that part.
It was it was like, oh my God, he's slobbering all over the place. And they didn't say anything on the announce part of it. I would have ate it up. I was like, look at him, he's so mad, he's slobbering all over the. Because
Uh,
Jesse would have done it. Jesse would have done it.
yeah,
Look at
Jesse
him,
would
he's
have said something about that.
look at him, he's so mad, like a mad dog with rabies, he's spitting all over the place.
Actually, that would have added to the match.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at him, McMahon.
or
Spitting
no,
all over.
it would have been look at it, Gino. Look at that, Gino. Ah man, I miss those days. Um, so yeah, that was a line that Michael said, and I think that's going to be a line that lives on in wrestling. Professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment. So, and that was it.
Yep.
John is done.
So I'll have to watch Raw at some point in time and catch up on what happened on that.
It was a good Raw. We find out who the Masked Man was.
I saw a post on Facebook inadvertently, and it popped up. I was like, "Well, crap, we kind of knew who that was."
Oh,
So,
you saw? Okay.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, he looks different.
So, yeah,
So
it
now,
is what it is. I don't know the story behind it or how it came about, so I'll watch all
oh,
of
I'm
it.
sure we'll
See,
be finding out.
yeah. So,
So
so what do you give the show?
I'm going to go with what Chris was rating it earlier. He gave it a number rating, 7.5. I thought that was a fair. I would say 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would go with 8. If you look on the ABC scale, I'd give it an A. Um, could have been better with a better booking at the end. Um, but all the other matches were really good.
They
Um,
were.
this one was not, didn't live up to the hype for me. But
Uh,
there again, I'm not really invested a lot with Cena, and definitely not Gunther being his last match. But
I didn't think that John and Gunther was a bad match. It just wasn't a typical match, especially from Gunther because he was um, paying too much attention to the fans. I don't know if John needed a minute.
and that could be what it was, you
Yeah,
know.
because
Um,
Gunther was doing it way, and he does it now and then, but on this match, it was really excessive.
Yeah. And it could be that Cena needed a little bit of time in between sets, but um, they had a lot. You had three good matches prior to this. Three or four. Is it three or four
Let's see. So
matches?
they had two
Yeah,
hours and 20 minutes of a show.
it was four matches total. Which I did the math up on it. It's 48 minutes of wrestling. So you're telling me 2 hours and 20 minutes. You didn't even have half of the show was wrestling.
Right. Now, granted, the last 10 or 15 minutes of those was celebration for John. And then you had
That's
like
it.
10 minutes before that match where, he was doing the whole thing with the crowd and going out to so I get that. So we can account maybe 30 minutes of that.
Right. So about
That's
half the show is wrestling.
hour. Yeah, that's another hour of
So we
something.
got an hour of commercials and bullshit,
Yeah. The
which worked out really well for me because I could fast forward through because I watched the replay because I watched it Sunday. So I
Yeah,
could fast forward through all the advertisements and well, most
works
everything.
out well for you, but when we're watching it live, it sucks
I
unless
even
you want to use it for a bathroom break or whatever. And I get that.
I even skipped some of the entrances. It's like hurry up and get in the ring.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy seeing the entrances for the most part. Um, but yeah, for a letter grade, I would give it a B plus. Um, maybe if they got rid of all the ads, I'd move it up to an A.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty sad when you're rating the show, but it's ads. We're rating the show.
Yeah.
Ads are part of the show.
That's part of
Oh,
the show.
let's
Take,
drive it down.
yeah. You're losing half a mark with all the advertisements.
Yeah.
Up to a full mark. No pun intended.
Well, I know a lot of people are saying pretty soon we're going to have advertisements on the wrestlers themselves.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt, on some shorts or
Well,
gear somewhere.
Brock Lesnar did that when he had the Jimmy John's shorts on. Remember that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, when he first came back to WWE after 7 or 8 years being gone, when he first came back to WWE and he was wearing those long black shorts, he had Jimmy John's on him, like they were sponsoring him.
Huh. Well, now you got, the mat and the ringside and the posts and the tables and everything else with advertisements all over.
I don't mind the post, I don't mind the tables and all of that. I just wish they never put it on the mat.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a distraction for what you want to watch. I think it's a distraction, and it takes away from iconic pictures too.
Hmm.
Um, but like you said, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to have to wrap. Uh, I got a bunch of
And
stuff.
we still haven't hit 2 hours yet.
Yeah, right at 2 hours.
Getting close there. So yeah. So would you say it's safe to say this might be our last show of the year?
The way my schedule looks, probably. Maybe we can come at some point in time and do some kind of maybe hour show or something, or a rap show or something. Kind of look back on the previous year and what we're
Year in review show.
do what
A year in review
a
show.
year in review and what we're looking forward to the next year.
Well, I know I'm going to be doing that. not this Friday, but next Friday on the 26th for 13th Dimension, I'm going to be doing a Yoon review thing
On the win.
where it's just going to be me and not having a guest on.
Let's try to do the 28th.
Want to do 28th?
Yeah, we'll try to do something on the 28th.
All right. Works for me.
Probably evening time.
Mm, well, we'd have to be careful because of Cat Show.
We'll do it after. When does she get off?
She is 7 to 9 Central.
Okay, let's go on after her.
Okay.
We'll do that. Maybe we can. Maybe we get her. Throw it out there. We can invite some. Like invite Chris in, invite Joe in, and Kat, and some of the other folks in the network. Just even if they don't stay the whole time, just pop in for a little bit, say hey, and
Oh, like get just some of the wrestling fans on here.
yeah, get some wrestling fans in, and see, it'd be great. We'd get Nigel in here. If we could get
He
everybody.
does seem to be on at the start of every show, doesn't he?
Yeah, get Nigel in here.
Yeah. Well, actually, that would be difficult because if we start that late, Nigel's in the UK,
Okay, he's in bed. So
so
no, we'll talk about it and see what we can do and
yeah.
do it in your review.
All right, folks. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Come back on the 28th, the last Sunday of the year. Thank you so much for playing along with us, and
Be safe.
be safe, be warm.
Have a great Christmas.
Oh wait, no, it's 30 degrees out here.
Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your holiday celebration is.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Um, I know there's a million others, but those are the only three that I can think of
Mm.
right now. So, all right. Well, until then, we will see you guys in 12 days.
Yep.
All right. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you later.